Weather Center. It's going to be a nice day out there early. 87 degrees is your high while the sun's out, but later in the afternoon, expect for that rain to roll in. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., and overnight a 60% chance of rain with a low of 66. This has been your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
Any views expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of WSIC.
All systems are a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats. Taking Care of Iredell with North Carolina State Representative Jeff McNeely is about to begin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Iredell County. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. It's a nice day out there right now, folks. Get out and enjoy it. Get some work done, whatever you want to do. I think it's going to be nice about the whole week. But that's enough of the Jeff McNeely weather report. Let's get into the show here, folks. And right off the get-go, I want to, say, take time today to say a prayer for this country. We stop and remember 9/11, 2001, 22 years ago. Gosh, it just seemed like it was yesterday almost. Tragedy happened in our land. We were attacked. That's the best way I know to describe it. And pray for those families that still feel the effects of it, and the country that still feels the effects of it. So take that moment, if you would, please. Got a great show today. Got Representative Jared Lowry going to come on the show. Jared is a really good representative from down in the southeastern part of North Carolina. He's also a member of the Lumbee Indian tribe. And so we have representation now in the House for the Lumbee Indians, and I think that's a good thing. They actually are the largest populated tribe in the state of North Carolina. So we're going to have him on and talk about a few things coming up. Hey, just want to give a shout out to everybody that came out to the fair this past week. We had a good crowds most night. Didn't have much rain, so that was a blessing. Usually we get monsoons when the fair comes, but this time we didn't. So just thank all the volunteers that worked, everybody that put their time in and effort. We appreciate that. So thank you so much. And the beauty of the fair is you get to talk to people, but then you also get to hear the gossip and the rumors going around, and that's kind of fun to a point. But, one of the rumors I heard out there, I thought I might need to squelch a little bit, was that, over some way past transgressions that I don't have any committees anymore in Raleigh. Well, that's not true, folks. I'm still one of the chairs on agriculture out of the two of us, and I'm one of the chairs on transportation. I have all my committees just like I've had all session long, so whoever's spreading that or telling that, it's not true. I still got the power and the validity I've always had, and I feel good about it. So we're getting ready to do the budget, and I got to bolt out of here today and head back down to Raleigh so we can try to maybe get that budget done this week, we hope. And it should be interesting. I think there's going to be 2 budgets floated out. I think one from the House with no casinos in it and one from the Senate with casinos in it. And this should be interesting times. We'll see how this whole week plays out. But, yeah, just go ahead and squash that rumor. No, I'm still chairman's, folks. For the ones that aren't happy about that, I still am. So, too bad. For the ones that are happy, hallelujah. Here we go. Wanted to bring up also, got a fundraiser coming up this coming Thursday out at the new FOP Wing Drive here in Statesville. It's out there not too far from Beulah Baptist Church. You can go on jeffmcneely.com, JEFFMCNEELY. And we got a caller. We'll take him here in a second. And ly.com and all about the fundraiser. We'd love to have you come out. Going to have barbecue dinner and have a big time. Got a lot of people coming. Jason Sane, John Bell. So we got a caller. We're going to go and take them, see what they got on their mind this morning. Must be something good, Joe. All right. Guest is already called? Well, he's way ahead of time then. All right. I might have to talk with him here in a second, try to comment. Let's bring him on for a second here. Hey, Jared, are you already there? He must have figured it out. Okay, that's all right. He's practicing. Hey, that's cool. He'll be right on time, I bet you now, that he's practicing. So anyway, I want to bring some things up here. One, already talked a little bit about it's going down, but Mecklenburg County Schools is suing Meta, which is kind of the parent company of, I think, Instagram and Facebook, and then they're still in Google and Snapchat, just about all the social media sites out there, for the mental duress they are causing our young people with addictive algorithms. Well, uniquely, two bills I kind of filed this session, and they've kind of sputtered a little bit because just trying to get all the different parts worked out. But one of them was the social media addictive. Let's see, where was that? I got to get this right here because it's tricky. Social media algorithm control and information technology, and the other one was called Sammy's Law. And both of those involved the algorithm and how it kind of draws young people in. It draws old people like me. You ever wondered if you happen to slow down on one ad, and then next thing you know, that's all the ads you get? Well, that's kind of the algorithm watching what you're doing, and I swear I believe they're listening too, because it seems like you can talk about something and then you go on your Facebook account or who knows whatever in social media, and by gosh, that's all you get fed, whatever you said. Some people say Samsung can listen in to what's going on. They're the worst on their TV, so remember, if you got one in the bedroom. All right, so just throwing that out there. Don't know if it's true or not, but I did find it unusual Mecklenburg County has took this route, and so we'll see how this goes. That's pretty aggressive action, if you ask me, but I'm not saying they're wrong. It is a problem. We have a lot of issues this brings about, and teen suicide, as we've seen, even the kids here in the Iredell Statesville school system and all across our country. Mental health with our youth has just exploded. To make a better word, I don't know, but it's sad, and we've got to try to do all we can to make sure that we take care of them, because they are in their formative years and they need guidance, and they don't need to be raised by the internet. They need to be raised by parents who are involved. So make sure you know what your child's looking at and how they're reacting to it and what's going on with them. And some of this new stuff we've done, like Parents' Bill of Rights and some of the other things we put forth, will give parents tools and school systems tools to help communicate back and forth with each other. Parents, school system, kids, it should all be working together, not against each other, together with each other. So that's critical. If anybody would like to call in, 704-873-1400. Love to hear what you got on your mind. We got a lot going on. We got a break coming up here in about 2 minutes or so, but love to hear what you got going on. I do know this with our school systems now. Our beloved governor, Roy Cooper, has announced $1 million he's going to invest into bus driver training. And not really sure where that money's going to go and exactly how it's going to work. And as far as the training, we do have a dangerous shortage of bus drivers. And one of the reasons we have this is real simple. We've made it about impossible to get a bus driver's license. You will do the same function, the same stuff that you will do to get basically a Class A CDL license to almost drive like a tractor trailer. Now, it won't be quite that intense because you won't have some of the different tests, but you'll have a lot of them, and it's made it real difficult. Plus, on top of that, you've also got to worry about is all the different drug testing, background testing, mental testing, all these different things that they put you through. And we're asking these people to do all these things, makes it really difficult. Now, I don't know maybe if we need to go back to that senior in high school when I was a kid that got to drive, although that wasn't bad, and I don't remember us having a lot of problems, and kids made money. But there got to be somewhere as a happy medium. And what we're doing now, the hoops you have to jump through to be a school bus driver, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So we'll see where Roy Cooper's $1 million goes to help in this training. I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference or not. It could be $1 million that's just wasted like we usually do. So let's pray not. But hang tight here. We'll be back here just shortly. Going to take a break. Got to pay the bills. So we're going to take a break. So come on back with us after this next part of the show.
Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Enjoy exploring the many musical talents of others? Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius is hosting the LKN Songwriters Showcase this Saturday. Davidson Mayor Rusty Knox will be among the performers. the LKN Songwriter Showcase this Saturday. For more info, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Less than 2 weeks until Huntersville Heyday. The sesquicentennial celebration for the town of Huntersville. Saturday, September 23rd from 2 until 8 p.m. at Huntersville Athletic Park. Come celebrate Huntersville's 150th birthday. Saturday, September 23rd. For more info, visit huntersville.org. Not much time left for apple picking at Kerrigan Farms. The apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is a very short window. Apple picking will end September 30th. Apple picking at Kerrigan Farms, only in September. Book your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. That's kerriganfarms.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays, September 30th through November 19th. A non-stop outdoor... While supplies last. The Carolina Renaissance Festival is sponsored by Sunbelt Rentals. For all your equipment rental needs. Equipment service guaranteed. Huzzah!
Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now a look at your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a nice day out there early, 87 degrees is your high while the sun's out, but later in the afternoon, expect for that rain to roll in. 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., and overnight a 60% chance of rain with a low of 66. This has been your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely. We hope you go out and visit the fine folks at G&M Milling Company in downtown beautiful Lowray, North Carolina. That's 4000 Taylorsville Highway, 704-873-5758. Give them a call or go visit for all your livestock needs, as far as feed or seed or whatever. They'll be glad to help you out. They're really good folks. I've known them for a long, long time. Go visit G&M Milling, 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Lowray, North Carolina.
Taking Care of Iredell continues. Here's your host, NC Representative Jeff McNeely, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right. Folks, we're back here for the, the middle part of the show. Got to get my terminology right, Joe. But anyway, got a lot going on. Like I said, anybody want to call in, 704-873-1400. Love to hear what you got on your mind this morning if you want to talk. A couple things going on while on break, and got to probably hear me and Representative Wayne Sasser for 2 weeks in a row. But, that was a really good show. And PBM's pharmacy benefit managers, it was first invented to save you money, and then it turned into a way to make money. So we got a lot of work to do to try to reel that back in. But anyway, Jimmy Buffett passed away while I was away at the beach on, I think, September the 1st, that Friday. And, that was kind of hard to hear. Kind of felt like I grew up with Jimmy Buffett through my years, especially younger years, and songs that you know by heart. Well, I think it was one of the albums, and it was all the greatest hits. And you actually did know those songs by heart. Here was basically a beach bum that became famous, and it was actually kind of late in his career. And so Godspeed, James William Buffett. Many good times going into his concerts. It's kind of a sobering thing to think about as far as we're getting older, I guess, and my generation is. But moving on, Biden administration, they're in trouble a little bit in this situation. Actually, they're in trouble in a lot of situations, but this one mainly is, as you'll see, fuel prices are starting to head back up. They've cut production at OPEC and some of the other countries, and we've crippled ourselves here at home with a lot of our crazy ideology that we brought about. So we're going to pay more at the pump. And the last time prices took off, they shed about 180 million barrels of the strategic petroleum supply into the chain to help with that supply chain to help with our shortages, and that brought fuel down some and made things a little better, still higher than it was not too long ago, just 2 or 3 years ago. But now they've done a few more things, and they actually have canceled all the leases that were going to go on in Alaska that were sold during the Trump administration that they had been fighting through EPA challenges and this, and now they just come up and canceled it. So that's been stopped. So more domestic oil looks like is going to be shut down. And they haven't replaced the barrels that they took out of the strategic supply. And there's only about half of what should be in the strategic supply now. So the question is, with hurricanes coming and all this other stuff going on, and there's a war in Ukraine, just name off one thing after another, we're running at about half capacity on our strategic oil supply. We haven't prepared very well. I kind of think this reminds me a lot of the grasshopper that didn't, or was it the ant, or whichever it is that, didn't laid around all summer and didn't get stored up for winter, and then winter come and they froze to death. Of course, in the United States, we're apt to let you do that, and then we'll still bring you in and feed you and take care of you and give you a free cell phone and a whole lot of other stuff. But this time, they're not going to be able to tap into the strategic oil supply. If they do, we really are playing with thunder there. And so folks, look out. I'm pretty worried about this. This could get really ugly really quick if they start doing something stupid. And we're putting ourselves in national just a paradigm of we could be attacked, we could be whatever, and we're not ready. We are not ready at all. And we keep throttling back domestic production. I don't think that's wise. One other thing going on, like I said, anybody want to call in? We got a little bit of time before we go to break and bring in the guests. So if anybody wants to holler at us, 704-873-1400. Kind of quiet this morning, Joe. You never know. Comes and goes like the Brown Mountain Light. The United Auto Workers, and that UAW has actually expanded to United Automobile, Aerospace, and Agricultural Implement Workers of America. So they've increased their scope as a union. Are now in deep fights with the big three automakers that are out there right now as far as wanting a new contract. And believe it or not, y'all, because of the mandates that are put on Ford and GM and Chrysler, Fiat, with the EV, the electric vehicles, and all the different things they're telling them as far as how they're going to have the mileage and all this, it's made them very unprofitable. They're struggling. Supply chains are tough. And so now the labor movement steps in. And basically what you're looking at is increase of about 46% is what the United Auto Workers are wanting over 4 years. So almost 50% pay increase over the next 4 years to go along. So the cost of cars, if you've looked at it, has got to the point where hardly nobody can afford to buy a new one. And with the EV coming, the electric vehicles, I want you to think about this, in about 6 to 8 years, they're going to flood the market, and they're going to be due for a new battery. And a new battery in one of them, I saw the other day, a Chevy Volt, could be as much as about $27,000. Now, the Chevy Volt, the new car, I don't think is under 40. So you're almost having to buy a whole new vehicle, and you're actually getting one that'll be 6 or 8 years old to replace that battery. Ford got loaned $9 billion, I think it was, by the federal government to kind of keep afloat so they could keep making electric vehicles and doing these things. Just a lot of craziness going on. We're either going to we got a caller? Yep. We'll go ahead and take them. See what we got out there. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got?
God bless you, Jeff McNeely. This is Deborah.
Deborah, you know what? The other day I was sitting there and I said, I need to call and check on Deborah. I haven't heard from her in a while, and I was hoping everything was okay.
Dear child, I'm praying we're all okay. That's what I'm calling you about.
Amen, sister.
Okay. I just want everybody to know to pray for our troops and pray for our law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for this country.
Yes, ma'am.
Pray for every family that has life on this earth. We have been blessed. God has been so good to us, each and every one. And I just wanted to call in and let you know, when our trade centers got hit, I had a doctor. I had that wreck,
Mm-hmm.
but I had a doctor that messed me up so bad. First time surgery, first time he operated on me. But I cried for the country's trade centers. I didn't care about me being messed up in that car wreck.
Mm-hmm.
My heart just broke for the country under attack.
Well, mine
I've
too.
loved this country all my life. I just love this country. And God knows we've got such great, fine people in this country. But I pray that this administration, Washington, D.C., God bless the people, our leaders. I don't want to put no one down. But I can tell you, somebody's not thinking this through. I was at the doctor's office, and I was telling him, that I'm picking up the pieces of where I've been, and everything's going to get better. And I left. Well, there was some gentleman that was half in the road, half on the sidewalk. He had fallen down, passed out, First Street at Baptist Hospital in Winston.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, he's laying out in the road. Well, I told you before, God talks to me, and yes, he does. And I heard from God telling me not this talk. I wanted to help him. But there was a car in front of me, and God bless that lady. She said that she went ahead and called 911. So I told her, thank you so very much. I just couldn't help. But there's so many of those people that don't have homes. They have tent cities. So let's just give God the praises, and let's have a prayer for God to hear, and let's get on the right track.
Well, we definitely need to pray for this country. We definitely need to pray, and today's a somber day to start with. So take that time, like I said earlier in the show, and say a prayer for us. We've got to come together, and we've got to be godly. And we're not in this country right now. We're struggling, and I know a lot of people say, "Well, there's all kind of different religions. You can't do that." Well, that's fine. There's only one true religion. I don't care what they say, and that's where I'm standing.
That's where I'm standing too. I promise you got to pray the prayer for God to answer it. And so I pray people will. And stop this racist talk. I'm so sick of the racist talk. I said it before, I'll say it again. God colored this world. The only thing that separates anyone in this life is a choice.
That's right.
You're right or you're wrong. It's not about skin color. Let's all come together and help one another. And God bless you all. Thank you for everything that you do to help us, okay?
Oh, thank you, Deborah. Good hearing from you, hon. Good hearing from you.
Wonderful day to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, see you. All right, getting back a little bit. We got another call. No, go on. Okay. All right. Getting back a little bit, like I said, this is a interesting time. I understand people, and I understand inflation. I understand a lot of things, but asking for 50% pay increase is going to put cars to the point where nobody can afford them, and then we've ruined the used car market because of the EV being put out. So it might not be long till that Fred Flintstone little coupe that he drove there, we might all be using one of them. Maybe we ought to think about the electric bicycles. I think they're pretty cool. I've actually rode one of them. It's going to get to a point. It's going to get really tough. I don't know where in the world we're going to end up, but just hang tight with us. Come back for the second half of the show. We got Representative Jerry Lowry coming on. Get to talk a little bit about the Lumbee tribe and what he's doing as far as legislation, and also talk about casinos in North Carolina. Seems to be pretty popular right now. So hold tight with us. We'll be right back. It's going to be really good. Thank you.
More Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Quality Car Care is your local.
Hey, Jared, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
All right, hold tight. Like I said, probably about 11:34, so about 3 or 4 minutes from now, we'll get you.
Okay.
Hold tight.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye. Yeah, let's take one, see what we got. Hey, we're on the break right now. This is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got?
Jeff, this is David.
Hey, David.
Number one, I think you ought to go into the mule raising business because we're probably going to end up back on mules before long.
Well, you know, being in the feed business, I've got an opportunity here, it looks like.
Yes, sir. You just start breeding mules,
Yeah.
you know, and little wagons behind them because all them cars, we will be able to get an axle from them and make a little cart and go to town.
I'm telling you, we are crazy in this country. We are crazy. We're going to put ourselves out of business. That's all there is to it.
I've got a grandson that's he's a real science freak, and he gets a magazine called OYLA. It's a kids magazine, a science magazine, and they article on these electric cars. You know what the number one electric car is in the world?
That's a good question. I don't.
It's a Toyota Prius and the Corolla that have the little engine in it that gets 50 miles to the gallon, and then it's electric when you go over 40.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need an umbilical cord to get charged up on the middle of and it gets a bazillion miles on it, and it recharges itself as it's driving. It does its own charging of the batteries.
I mean, that makes wonderful sense. So, Lord help us. So, I don't. But you know what? The people on the left don't want that. That ain't good enough because it does have some emissions.
The infrastructure alone, is going to cost trillions of dollars.
Oh yeah.
Because how many gas stations are there in the world, in the United States?
Oh God.
All those talking about those are all going to be charging stations.
Yeah.
And you can't afford to make a charging station at your house.
Right.
It's a fortune to put it in. And I don't know. It just does. It's just like, why are these people trying to destroy this wonderful country? Why are they trying to?
I don't know. Hey, David, I got to jump off. We're going to get right back to the show, but I appreciate you calling me. Thank you.
Okay.
See you. There's another caller?
There is one more, but we got 20 seconds till we're back.
We can't do it then.
Can't do it. Let me tell him real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, caller, unfortunately, Jeff will not be able to take your call today, but if you call back next week in the beginning of the show, he'll be able to get with you.
Love to get up with you. We got to get back into the show. Were they there? I don't even know if they were there.
Taking care of Iredell on WSIC.
All right, we're back here for the second part of the show. Got our guest online. We're going to get ready to bring him in here. Jared, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. How are you?
I'm well, sir. I'm well. I got Representative Jared Lowry on the line. Jared, are you from Lumberton? Where are you from?
Yeah, so I'm actually from Pembroke, North Carolina.
Pembroke, that's right.
So, born and raised, yes, sir.
All right. How's things down in that part of the state today?
I tell you what, it's been a beautiful morning. I know it's going to heat up, but I tell you what, Representative McNeely, the Lord has blessed us this hurricane season, and the waters have risen, and I pray the Lord continue to keep us safe on that front.
Well, me too, because like I said, we've got money, but I don't want to spend it if I don't have to, so ain't no doubt.
Absolutely.
Hey, Jared, tell us a little bit about who you are so my listeners can kind of get to identify with you and tell us who you work for, because we got a lot of those up here as far as houses and hatcheries and this, that, and the other. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, sir. Well, I am from Robinson County. I am a member of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. I am serving in my first term representing District 47, which is pretty much all of Robinson County. And my day job, I work for a company called Mount Air Farms, which we do have our breeder operations up in the Statesville area. And a little bit of trivia is that Mount Air, since we concentrate all our breeders in western North Carolina, it's the largest concentration of breeders in the entire country.
Really? Didn't know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that's pretty very, very important to us. And so the Statesville area is very important to feeding not just America, but the entire world. So I appreciate everything you guys do out there.
We always felt like we were getting ready to take over up here. It was just a matter of time for world domination. So now I know that we got the chickens to do that with, and the chicken nuggets will be, look out, folks, look out. But married, I think you got one daughter now. She just got born here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a beautiful wife, Jennifer, and I have an awesome 8-month-old, well, soon to be 9-month-old Madison Lowry. And I tell you, Jeff, I never realized I could love somebody as much as I do until I had that little girl. And she just became the center of my whole little world.
Well, I'll tell you what, and them little girls will wrap Daddy around the finger. So beware, and there's no way to stop it. There's no way to stop it. Now, you know, this is your first go at it. This is your first session you've been through here in a long session, and so you're getting broke in good. We're you know, so I'm saying rode hard and put up wet because we're already into September and should have got done in June, which unfortunately has become typical down there. I think that's the problem. Everybody thinks this is the norm, but it's not. But what's some of the stuff you're working on? I know me and you worked on some stuff, far as like an IRA for people who are independent businesses and whatnot, and they could put money back, and worked on some stuff with that. Tell us a little bit about that. Maybe some of the other bills that you've worked on.
Yeah. So we have the North Carolina Work and Save Act, which I do appreciate you and your co-sponsorship of that bill. So what the Work and Save Act will do will essentially allow small businesses to provide a way for their employees to save for retirement. Right now, we have about 1.8 to 2 million working-class North Carolinians. You know, you're talking about your shop mechanics, your groundskeepers, your plumbers, folks who are keeping North Carolina moving. But they don't have any way to save through a payroll deduction. You know, the job I work at, I think it's like 4 or 6% set aside every paycheck, go into my retirement. Well, a lot of small businesses don't have that opportunity, and what we would like to do here in North Carolina is create a way for small businesses to simply sign up and allow a person to be able to save money. And I tell you, Jeff, it's going to be a big save and a big boom for taxpayers if we can get more North Carolinians to start preparing for retirement.
Oh yeah.
Right now, I think the state's spending about $400 to $500 million a year in services to take care of folks who are older who didn't save for retirement or couldn't save for retirement.
Well, that's so critical because, we count on the government, I think so many do, to carry us from the cradle to the grave. And that's not what this country was intended. That's not how this was set up. So we're going to help you to become your own, control your own destiny, be your own master of where your finances are. And so that's one of the great things, and that's one of the reasons I come in with you on that. I saw as a small business, it's hard to offer all the services large corporations do. So this is a chance for small business to be able to retain some people so you don't lose them to the larger corporations by being able to give some of the same benefits that they do.
Yeah. And it won't cost the small businesses any money, and no cost to the taxpayers. So, I mean, it's really a benefit all the way around.
Good deal. What else have you been working on now? Any other legislation?
Yeah, so I was actually proud. I got my first piece of legislation signed into law this year, which was called the American Indians Graduating with Honors Act, and I appreciated your support in that as well.
Yes, sir.
Is a law that allows American Indian students in high school to be able to wear a feather at graduation. As you know, a lot of native cultures, the eagle feather, the hawk feather is very, very important and a symbol of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's something that a lot of states do, but we didn't do here in North Carolina, and it came through with unanimous support. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the members in General Assembly, because back home, where the majority of students, in our public schools is American Indians, it's important. So I appreciate that.
Well, and I know, like I said, every culture is a little different, and we need all, we're all Americans, but we also need to understand we have history. We all row together. Some of us may look different, but we all row together. So I thought that was good to give them a chance.
And yes, sir. And you know how tough it is to get something through the General Assembly. So to have, some senior leadership support like you and others, oh man, I appreciate it. So thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. You're doing a great job. Let's talk a little bit about, before we get into the elephant in the room, as we'll say, let's talk a little bit about the Lumbee Indian tribe and how many they really are. I mean, because it's the largest ancestral tribe in North Carolina, I think. Am I right or wrong? I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah. No, you're right. So the Lumbee tribe is actually the largest tribe in North Carolina, the largest tribe east of the whole Mississippi River.
Oh, wow.
We have roughly about 60,000 enrolled members. In the last census, there was about 75,000 people that identified as Lumbee. across the country. So there's quite a bit of us. The Lumbee people, we get our name from the Lumbee River, which is now called the Lumber River. And before after arrival, after contact, a lot of American Indians came to what's now Robeson County and the Lumbee River to survive because it was swampland.
Yeah,
and it was a great place to survive. And our people adapted and overcame. Learned to speak English, we worship Jesus, and we've been able to build a good community down here. Owning banks, electric companies, small businesses, insurance agencies, farms. And we've been able to be very, very self-reliant, which is testament to who we are as people. And we believe that the Lord has placed us here for a reason, and we work hard, and we've been able to really grow our numbers compared to other other tribes in the state.
Yeah. Now your brother is the chief right now, correct?
Yes. So my brother John Lowry was elected chief back in 2021. And he is serving in his first term. I think he's doing a fantastic job. I know he was well prepared. And so I appreciate his leadership. And I tell you, one thing that he knows is how important it is to build relationships. Build relationships with our legislators. I think you and him have met before.
We have.
And that's important for all the tribes in North Carolina to build relationships with legislators, because we need to know who our policymakers are, who our lawmakers are. There's so many people who want to know who the president is and Congress is, but truth be told, the state of North Carolina affects your life probably more than anything else does at this point.
We like to get in your pocket pretty quick. We'll try to do that real fast.
Right. I think the one thing we do better than the federal government is we don't have the debt. So that's good.
That's right. Well, the good news is we can't print money, so that takes away a lot of the enticement or whatever, the greed when you can't print. We got to make sure we balance. But now, all right. So you have I guess a chief, and then you have internal government inside of the Lumbee tribe also, besides just a chief that does different things. So it's your, we say it's your own little nation, but it's your own little government too, to a point.
Yeah. So we have a chairman who is our chief executive. We have a tribal council of 21 members, which I served 6 years on before joining the General Assembly. And we have representatives from each one of our communities. And then, Jeff, we actually have a Supreme Court. We have kind of like a Court of Appeals, which are administrative courts. So we have a whole functioning government, and we're very, very, very proud of it. We do a lot of home building support for veterans and farmers. We run 7 different boys and girls clubs across the territory.
Cool.
We do a lot of good stuff.
Now, the state of North Carolina recognizes y'all, but the federal government has yet to do it. Is that right?
So yes, sir. So the state government did recognize the Lumbee tribe back in the 1880s, and then we started petitioning the federal government. So in 1956, Congress passed a law called the Lumbee Act of 1956, and it recognized the Lumbee people as American Indians, but the last line denied us any kind of services or benefits of being Americans. So we're one of 4 tribes that they done like that basically recognized and terminated at the same time. And so we've been petitioning Congress since 56 to change that law to give us full recognition. So we're partially federally recognized, but we want full recognition.
Oh yeah. Well, and we've got about 30, 40 seconds, and we got to take a break, and then we'll come back for the last part of the show, Jared. But, I look at the Catawbas, and how did the Catawbas get it done and not the Lumbees? Because, there's 50,000 more y'all than is the Catawbas.
Yeah. We're kind of unique. The Catawba and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians both got their full recognition through Congress, like we are. And one thing I say this is Lumbee tribe is trying to get full federal recognition the way the Eastern Band of Cherokee did. But the truth be told, between us, the Eastern Band of Cherokee don't want anybody else to know.
Exactly. Hey, Jared, let's hold off, and I'll bring you right back here just in a minute or two, and we'll finish up the show, and we'll talk a little more about that, and we'll talk about
There's
the
more
elephant.
Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely on the way from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Enjoy exploring the many musical talents of others? Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius is hosting the LKN Songwriters Showcase this Saturday. Davidson Mayor Rusty Knox will be among the performers. The LKN Songwriter Showcase this Saturday. For more info, visit canearts.org. That's CAINarts.org. Less than 2 weeks until Huntersville Hay Day, the sesquicentennial celebration for the town of Huntersville. Saturday, September 23rd from 2 until 8 p.m. at Huntersville Athletic Park. Come celebrate Huntersville's 150th birthday. Saturday, September 23rd. For more info, visit huntersville.org. Not much time left for apple picking at Kerrigan Farms. The apple picking at Kerrigan Farms is a very short window. Apple picking will end September 30th. Apple picking at Kerrigan Farms, only in September. Book your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. That's kerriganfarms.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back! Saturdays and Sundays, September 30th through November 19th. A non-stop outdoor family adventure. Huzzah! Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last. The Carolina Renaissance Festival is sponsored by Sunbelt Rentals. For all your equipment rental needs. Equipment service guaranteed. Huzzah!
Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a beautiful Monday out there, mostly clear skies and a high getting near 86 degrees this afternoon. As we head into the evening, we'll have mostly clear skies with a low overnight dropping to 65 before we get back into rain chances for Tuesday. This is your weather update from the WSIC Weather Center.
Special purchase at Randy Marion Chevrolet Estates. Well, how about a Chevrolet 22 model Silverado pickup? These are the regular cab long bed work trucks. These are ready to go today. I've got over 30 in stock starting at $23,990. Miles on these things are a deal. 8,000 miles up to the mid-teens. That's right, 22 model Silverado trucks, 8,000 miles starting at $23,990. Come check them out today. Randy Marion Chevrolet Estates.
Taking Care of Iredell continues. Here's your host, NC Representative Jeff McNeely, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, we're back here for the third part of the show. Got to get my numbers right here. Let me see if my guest's still hanging with me. Hey, Jared, you still with me?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, sorry about that. We got to pay bills around here. They made me take these commercial breaks, I swear. But anyway, all right, let's go ahead. You said something at the very end that we're going to bring forth and talk a little bit about, and we're going to talk a bit about casinos, because that seems to be everything you hear. And folks, I'm sure a bunch of y'all got a mailer in your mailbox here about a week or so ago, or this past week. Had my beautiful face on it, so hey, it should be good. But really, it was a dig, and the dig is it was the Cherokees went through a group, and they hired a Democrat lobbyist, and they put up a name of some kind of group, and it's the same old, a lot of smoke and mirrors. But basically, it's the Cherokee Indian tribe doesn't want anybody else to have a casino. They've got one, but they don't want nobody else. So, yeah. And pretty much the same about recognizing y'all. They know if the Lumbies get recognized, well, then y'all get all the benefits and the virtues and everything that they have.
Yeah, they know that we are a larger tribe in population. I would say that with UNC Pembroke, we're probably even a more educated tribe, as in professionals. And for some reason that bothers them. But the way the Lumbees see it is that we're all brothers and sisters, and we all need to work together.
Yeah.
But some people want to have their cake and eat it too. And I'm just being honest.
I know. That's what I want. Well, now, and I just came back from the beach over Labor Day, and I'm not saying anything bad. I know a lot of good people down in the southeast, North Carolina, whatever, but I drove up through Tabor City and up through got Loris and then into Chadburn, and there's not a whole lot going on down there. As far as there's some farming, yeah, but as far as any kind of economic development place to put people to work, not a lot happening. I would say the unemployment rate down there is probably 5-6%. What do you think it is? You got any numbers on Lumberton and around that area in Pembroke?
Yes, sir. So between Robeson County, Scotland, and Columbus County, we kind of have the highest, unemployment rates in the state. I think Scotland County is over 8% still. Robeson County is in the 5%. Columbus County is in the 6%. And Jeff, we don't have the infrastructure down here to be able to land things like a Toyota or a VinFast, or some kind of Jetstream Aerospace. But we still have good people down here that work hard and they want an opportunity to work.
Yeah.
And these entertainment districts can be able to provide a lot of jobs, a lot of good paying, stable jobs. And it's going to be a boon to wherever region it's put, that they go into. And that's one of the things that I think I tell everyone about is that people in rural areas deserve really good jobs. And they shouldn't necessarily have to leave their home and travel 2 or 3 hours or pick up and move just to be able to get a good paying job. And that's what these entertainment districts will be able to bring, good paying, stable jobs.
Well, you get down the lower part of Columbus, and you're right there on the North Carolina, South Carolina line, and you're not far from Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach when you're there. You're 30, 40 minutes away.
There's a lot of people here that on Fridays and they get off work, they go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah,
and spend the weekend at the beach and come back Sunday evening.
Yeah, and done it in less than an hour, so it ain't like it's a long drive. But the reverse of that is you got a whole lot of tourists coming in from all over the East Coast and this side of the Mississippi go to Myrtle Beach. They plan every year to go to Myrtle Beach or North Myrtle Beach or whatever beach it is down that way, and they come through there. So, I'm not saying I'm the biggest fan of casinos and this, that, and the other, but I do look at the Lumbee tribe and I go, why? Why does the Cherokee, why does the Catawba have and the Lumbee doesn't? I mean, if you look at where now, I'll admit the Cherokee out there in the far west, there's not a lot of economic activity going on there. But Kings Mountain, down below Charlotte, there's a bunch of activity going on there. So if we're going to do something as far as gambling goes, and I ain't gonna tell you I'm a huge fan, but I understand, and I'd be a liar if I told you I ain't never bet on something. Football games at NC State, I hadn't called up a bookie, but I sure have bet with friends. And I bought plenty of raffle tickets. My Lord, I don't know how to tell you how many raffle tickets I bought in my life. Everybody comes to me. Yeah, so anyway, what is your idea of gambling? I don't know. But I do know this much. It would do a lot of good for the Lumbee tribe if y'all had the same things that the Catawbas and the Cherokee had and the same advantages.
Yes, sir. And if you do look at, and I do think the Eastern Band of Cherokee there is a good example of what could happen. They've been able to build a brand new, hospital. Mm-hmm. They have some world-class first responders, schools, and we try to be able to do the same thing. And, when you build a hospital or you partner with a county sheriff's, office, that benefits everybody, not just the Lumbee people, but it benefits everybody. And, you're going to have the opportunity to build some further out, partner with the county and the state to build some further infrastructure. It's going to be a boon to the whole region, no matter if you're Lumbee or non-Lumbee. And you're right. There's so many people who are already coming through here or going to South Carolina on the weekend. Why can't we get them to stay an extra night here in North Carolina?
I tell you what, you run a bus route between Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach, and wherever you put that right down there on the line, and it'll stay busy. It'll stay busy. And
that's not a bad idea.
I'm just saying, and I've been to Cherokee, and it's they got all the gaming and all that, but they have big concerts up there. I mean, they have entertainment, they have all kind of different stuff, nice restaurants. I mean, like I said, it would change the complexion. Now, good, bad, or indifferent, I don't know. It would change the complexion. I know that South Carolina's talking about doing gambling now and gaming too. So I can tell you right now, if they build a casino on the other side of the line, right there near y'all, there'll be a whole lot of people drive right through y'all and not stop one bit and head right there. So
absolutely. And looking at these whole entertainment districts, Jeff, like you're not just going to have a casino and a hotel, but you have a water park, restaurant, outlet, you're going to be it's going to be a $500 million investment.
Yeah.
And it should be a location to where people can come through and spend a weekend with a family and not even game if they don't want to.
Yeah.
They can just do it, location.
And I don't know Robertson's tax rate, but I'll bet you it's somewhere in the high 70s, 80 cent on the 100. What is it?
It's 70, right? It was 78 cents per 100.
Let's call it 80 for easy math. So anyway, you're talking about getting about $40 million in a year on property tax. I think if I done my math right, or it might be even more than that. Might be. It'd be about 40 million. About 40 million you'd get in. That'd go a long way on probably a $200 million Robeson County budget, or whatever county you put it in. Columbus, all of them down there probably got $175 million budget, and you're talking about a third of the budget, a fourth of the budget, a fifth, something like that. I mean, that's pretty substantial.
Especially in a time where you're trying to get more folks to come into law enforcement. And you got sheriff's office that are looking to raise pay to entice more folks to come. I mean, that's going to be a boom for the sheriff's office. It's going to be a boom for our local fire departments, and it's going to be huge all the way around. But you're right.
Well, it's an influx of money that the state doesn't have to take from one part of the state and send to another. Which, no offense, but it seems like that's what we do a lot. We really do. We rob Peter to pay Paul. And what we need to do is raise all boats, not just take the water out of one boat and fill it into another. So this is a chance. We've tried to get, like you said, you don't have the infrastructure. We've tried to get companies to invest and go there and do there. And they tend to want to be near the railroad. They tend to need to be near major interstates. They want to be in and they want to be in populous areas. So they got a draw of employees. They want all these things, and that's not what southeast or northeast North Carolina is. And so it would change the complexion. Like I said, at 8%, y'all could get your unemployment down probably pretty quick, down to 3 or 4. And also one thing, and we're running close on time here, so we can't talk about a minute longer, so I'm going to try to get off here. But I know that looking and talking with y'all, addiction seems to be higher in these higher unemployment areas. So you got a lot of people that are finding other things to get into that are not good instead of work, because work's not there.
Yeah, absolutely. Substance abuse is too high in our rural areas, like you said, especially where the unemployment rate's too high. And, the best welfare that you can offer anybody is a good-paying job.
That's right.
And that's exactly what these rural entertainment districts are going to be able to provide an opportunity and provide hope for some of these families. Hope.
Well, this is going to be an interesting week for us. We will see how it transpires. I got a feeling there's going to be two budgets, one with casinos, one without casinos, and a heck of a fight in the middle. So, Jared, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so much for your time. I swear it's the fastest hour in the whole week for me. It flies by. But you're doing good work, and keep it up. And folks out there in the Lumbee Tribe, be proud of Jared Lowry. He's doing you a heck of a job. Heck of a job. Take care, and I'll see you soon today, sir.
Thank you, sir. See you then.
All right, see you now. All right, folks, as we get ready to close down here, let's say our prayer here. And, hey, we got a lot to pray about today. Dear Lord, I just pray for my country. I pray for continued healing. I pray for unity. I pray for love of one another and love of country. I pray you lead and guide us in all we do. Lord, I pray for the Lumbee people and that tribe as it struggles to get recognition. I just pray as this comes this week and your will be done, dear Lord. Gambling is a vice, so many other vices out there, and I don't know how we do. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. See y'all next week.
You've been listening to North Carolina Representative Jeff McNeely. Join Jeff again next Monday morning at 11:05 for Taking Care of Iredell on News Talk WSIC.
The new